Oh, we're live. Good morning, everyone. I got this little button that says live, and I didn't see it go off. So, at any rate, welcome to another show. Excited to jump into this one. We're talking about how to reduce chronic pain. I'm going to talk about how we can help with arthritis, osteoporosis, more sore muscles around ligaments, joints with arthritis, and then even improving your immune system. So this is gonna be a great show. Buckle up. Let me know if you guys have questions. I always enjoy questions as we got Carrie's in here, D's in here. Ugh. Okay. Karina's in here. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. We got lots to talk about today. I want to dive in and make sure you get out at a reasonable time. Good morning, Annette. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask throughout. I love for these shows to be interactive. I feel like I'm going to bust some myths here in this show, or at least share some better truths. And hopefully you have some takeaways when we get through the show and you understand, have a better idea of what's going on in your body with chronic pain. So if we were to take a step back, I feel like we should have a good idea where that chronic pain roots from. Maybe we got Barbara jumped in here, my mom's in here, Sasha's in here. Maybe a good place to start is if you let me know in the comments what you may be dealing with, because then I could direct the show a little bit more targeted to that. So are you dealing with, or is your concern osteoporosis? Do you have arthritis, chronic pain? Let me know in the comments. And morning, Rebecca. This is a safe place, so don't feel like there's any judgment. Certainly not coming from me, and we don't allow any of that from our audience. I actually was in a group and someone said something really rude to me, and I left the group because the admin told them you can't do that anymore. It's all like, I don't want to get into that too much, but I feel like these private groups are private for a reason. They should be a safe place, and if they're not, what are you doing there, right? Like, what are we doing here? So if you guys share anything personal or what you don't want shared, you could say so, or you'll never get negativity from our group, because I won't, it's not accepted. They'll be removed instantly. And then for that, like in that group, the admin messaged me and they're like, hey, sorry about that. I told them not to do it again. And I was like, see ya. Instead of being like, if I was running that group, I'd remove that person without even thinking twice. Like, bye. We got Karina's in here. Bev says sometimes knee and hip. Ed says lower back due to it. Ed, I feel you. I was through it. Amy, how you doing? Good morning. Did you get through all your onboarding videos? We got Judy's in here. Good morning, Judy. My knees are getting cranky now. Hello. Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like we have to understand that chronic pain or discomfort is coming from somewhere. I am not under the belief that it's just naturally occurring as we get older. I think I touched on this on a previous show of, in many cases, I did an oil show, detriments of rancid oils. If you guys missed that show, ask for it in the comments. You have to ask for the full show, not just say I want it, because we won't know what you're talking about. You have to say, I want the rancid oils show that's causing chronic pain. Then we'll know what you're talking about. So we have to understand that chronic pain is coming from somewhere. I'm not under the impression that we just naturally, our body just starts to crumble when we are 22, 31, 46. I feel like there are action steps that we're taking or not taking to cause our body to kind of reject our lifestyle. Oh, that's a good one. The actions that you're taking and your body's like saying, no, not doing it. Your body is rejecting that lifestyle that you're living. So many cases, the less we move, the more issues that come up in our health, which sounds interesting. And it sounds like counterintuitive. Like, if I don't move, If I don't go anywhere, I'm safe. I should not run into any issues at all. But that's not how it works. The less you move your body, the less you have the ability to move your body. So that stems from inactivity, the lifestyle and inactions that you're taking, and then I take that a step further in the foods that you're putting in your body. So from rancid oils, from low quality supplements, which I ran into that in my own rights, was taking all kinds of, like, a whole tackle box full of really low quality supplements, and I started to feel the health effects of it. That's how I got into this industry. That's why I'm so passionate about clean ingredient products. So that's supplementation, and then the foods. Like, you have to look at the foods you're putting in your body, right? Like, are foods causing inflammation? Like, if you're looking at sugar, I think we all know, maybe not to assume. I don't like that word. I really don't like the word obvious. Obviously, sometimes I use it. But if you are putting refined sugar in your body, and that could come from any source, you're putting refined sugar in your body, that's causing inflammation. The inflammation is causing chronic pain, and that's where your joints are like, oh, I'm just getting older. It's probably just arthritis. Or you talk to your doctor, right? Doctor doesn't really know. Like, your doctor's like, oh, well, everyone that comes in and sees me about your age has arthritis, so it's normal. Or I'm thinking about arthritis in particular, and I'm not to say it doesn't come. I'm just saying that there are things that we can do to prevent and things that we can do to treat, and I guess that's why we're here today. We have Sandra's in here and Tanya. Good morning to you, Sandra. Rebecca says chronic lower back pain due to an injury. Same with Ed. I went through that myself. Yeah, have you guys heard my lower back story? I feel like most people have heard it numerous times. Karen, good morning, Karen. Although we have more and more newer people coming into these groups and watching live, which is amazing. Morning, Deanne. And Karen says, have to watch the replay. Awesome, Karen. Well, go ahead and enjoy whatever you're enjoying. Okay, so I got to go to the history first. I got to go to lifestyle. And as we look at this as a holistic avenue, and then we look at what are the things that you're doing that are causing the issues that are happening in your life, right? So we got to take a step back. It's not like I'm going to give you tips right now. I'm going to give you suggestions and the things that we recommend to our clients, the things that we do ourselves. But it's like the whole pills, potions, powders deal. Like, we sell supplements. Don't think that's a secret unless you're brand new here. We sell supplements, the cleanest ingredient supplements we could possibly design or source. But it doesn't serve me to say this as a supplement company, as in part a supplement company, but the supplements aren't going to replace everything. Some people are like, oh, I just take supplements. No, that's not how it works. You have to take proper steps to improve your health. And that's my goal here with these shows, is to help you understand that you can improve your health. You can take action steps to make a difference of the situation that you're in. But it has to start off with what you've been doing to cause that. It's not just, and part of that is mindset, right? Like, removing that accountability, or we remove accountability through responsibility. Like, wow, it's not it's health history. I one time had someone told me my my family, I don't know if they're watching, or this was years ago. At any rate, they're like, oh, my family, no one in my family has been flexible, so neither am I. And I'm like, come again? And don't get me wrong, I'm not. Then you gotta, like, do you stretch at all? No, it doesn't work for me. What are you talking about? That's the same thing as, like, someone being overweight and being like, everyone in my family's overweight. Nothing I can do about it. So we have to remove that take accountability and responsibility for actions or inactions, and change our mindset, right? Instead of being like, I'm getting a little bit older, it's gonna come. Instead of being like, okay, let's do this. I watched this really cool, it was just a short clip. It was like a 3-minute clip of this guy. I don't know how old he was. He was, however old he was in great shape. He was like 64 years old or something like that. And he was like a CrossFit kind of obstacle course thing. And he climbed a rope, and he did a muscle up. He did some deadlifts and wall ball stuff. But anyways, I'm pretty sure he was like 64, and he looked better than a 24-year-old. And I was like, wow. And I was like, that's something that I aspire to. Like, wow, that's cool. And that gives me hope, because sometimes my own beliefs or my own mindset, it gets clouded by things that happen in life or your environment, right? So it's important. I like doing these shows. I like having these conversations with you guys, but it's important to stay strong in your beliefs because there's so many people around there like, oh, you're just getting older. Or I really dislike those comments of like whatever they are. And it's just someone else's belief, right? They don't mean anything by it, but it's their limiting belief that they're putting on you. Like, oh, uh, you're getting older. And like, I really dislike that. Or like, yeah, that's going to come with age. Or like just little things like that. It's like an expectation. Like, I expect, like, oh, yeah, been through that when I was your age. It's only going to get worse. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And why is that something you're sharing with me? Like you can tell I'm clearly agitated by it, like because that's an influence that you're putting on someone else. And like I said, those people don't mean anything by it. I'm sure they have no idea that they're doing it, but still, it's like it doesn't give me or anyone in their life, like, it doesn't give you power. It doesn't give you control. It takes that responsibility away. And like, you know what? There's action steps that we could take to prevent, certainly delay, and improve your situation regardless of where you're at. Good morning, Debbie, Keisha, and Cindy. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is I want to talk about a hot detoxing bath. So many of you would have seen my post about the bentonite clay. Looked like I had a dirty bathtub. So that's what we soak in. So I'll just tell you real quick. We soak in bentonite clay. We soak in magnesium bath flakes, not Epsom salts, borax. Don't get crazy. Don't leave me yet. I'm going to explain it for you. And then baking soda. And I always get baking soda and baking powder mixed up. I'm pretty sure it's baking soda. Doctors say those things to you all the time. I'm not sure what that was, but thanks, Rebecca. Okay. So, doctors say those things like those, yeah, but understand, like, that's their world, right? Like, sometimes I feel like I get a bad rep for like, oh, you don't like doctors. Or I heard someone say one time, like, you're against the doctors or you're against the medical world. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, that's not, you're taking my words out of context. We need doctors, and doctors have a very specific function. And like, we need pain medication and we need antibiotics. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Doctors have a very clear purpose. To me, that's to prescribe medication. So if you go to a doctor and ask about supplements, like I'm going to ask my doctor about magnesium. What does your doctor know about magnesium? You're going to ask your doctor about nutrition. How much have they learned it? They're very good. Like, that's what they're there for. They're good at prescribing medication. We need medication. I just feel like we go to doctors and we listen or believe, and they have very little understanding or training. But again, we need them. They have a very clear purpose, and we should use them. We need more of them, actually. At any rate, so... Okay, so bentonite clay in particular, that's an easy one. Bentonite clay has been used for thousands of years, and that it's like activated charcoal. For me, bentonite clay and activated charcoal are very similar, not benefits, but when I think of like the energy, the energetic purpose of them, like, both have been used for thousands of years. Both have very holistic, natural, deep-rooted health benefits. So, like an activated charcoal, the bentonite clay is very porous. So, it's also, what's the word? Like, you could make a bentonite clay mask on your face, and then like you can feel it, like pulling tight on your face, right? So it's actually pulling out. It's pulling out the dirt, the toxins. It's pulling out the things that shouldn't be there, right? So just think about that. Like, think like that's a what's the I want to use micro or macro. That's the micro example of bentonite clay on your face. Like, if you ever tried it, let me know in the comments, has anyone ever tried this? But you can actually feel the bentonite or your face like getting tighter, or almost like skin like shrinking. So that's a micro example, right? A bigger or macro example is in the bath. So you go in the bath and you sprinkle some bentonite clay in there, and just thinking of all the benefits that's offering your entire body. So remember, our skin is our biggest organ, and anything that we put on our skin gets absorbed into our body. So think about that for example, because here I'll tell you a quick story. When I was growing up in the baseball steroid era, some of you probably, most people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's my example. I need a more example related more to this group, but the steroid era of baseball was Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Ed, do we have any baseball fans in here? So these guys were giant. They were giant human beings. They looked like bodybuilders. But anyways, one of the steroids they were using was called the cream. I'm like, hey, is so-and-so on the cream? I think he's on the cream. And we're like, you can actually rub the steroids on your arm. And yeah, so here's the thing is like, you can, when you're rubbing, like when you're rubbing magnesium, that's more beneficial. A steroid cream, I'll tell you real quick, I play, those of you that don't know, I played baseball for years. I played professional baseball, and we would play every day. We would play 7 months out of the year on a short season. And we played, if we weren't playing a game, we were practicing. So it was long, grueling seasons. Our arms were in so much pain, like all the time. Like we were just in regular pain. That's the life of a professional athlete. And we found it sounds crazy, but we found this. It was like icy hot, but it was for horses. And I know like we live in a rural community, so there could be some people in here that are horse people, but do you know what I'm talking about? That's probably still a thing. And it was we put this cream, like, so we went from icy hot, like, oh, and then someone's like, hey, I got this cream, it works way better than icy hot, and there was a horse on the container. So we're putting this cream on our arm, and we're like sitting in the dugout, we're like, this is so relieving. I mean, the ingredients were probably, I couldn't imagine what was in the product, but that's not what you're thinking about. You're just like, your body is just in pain. And many of you know what I'm talking about, just in a different context. So, at any rate, I don't even know where I was going. Oh, so that like those toxins, like that cream is absorbed into your body, right? We got, Sasha says, yeah, baseball fan. And then Sandy's in here, good morning. And Sharon's in here from High River. Sharon's one of our distributors and brand partners. So if you need some products, you can reach out to her if you're in her area, and she'll hook you up. So at any rate, so let's go back to in the bath, the detoxing bath. So you're laying in bentonite clay, and that is pulling out the toxins. And I would probably go as far to say is that some of that, like if you put bentonite, you sprinkle bentonite clay, your bath turns like a little darker color, right? Like the clay is a darker clay color, it's like a brown color. And I would go as far as to say is that that's pulling out toxins. So what's left on the bottom of that tub isn't probably just clay, right? It could be dirt, it could be other toxins, it could be things that have been absorbed into your body, that in your body's taking them out. So here's the thing is that we continually put toxins into our body. So you look like you could even probably consider magnesium, maybe a bentonite clay, similar to an antioxidant. The antioxidants fight the free radicals. So if you're looking at free radicals, what we put in our body, free radicals are a wide range of from the refined food, hydrogenated oils, processed food. Did I say that? Refined sugar? Maybe I said refined food. So probably the same thing. So that actually breaks down your immune system, that breaks down your bone mineral, that breaks down your body at a cellular level, which is why we're at such a weakened state. If you look at an acidic state versus an alkaline state, most people are in an acidic state. So that is, the acidic state is the free radical state of probably too much heavy meat products, probably, especially low quality. You're looking at alcohol, tobacco, refined sugar, hydrogenated oils. That's an acidic state. And then if you look at, acidic state. And if you look at an alkaline state, your body is a stronger state of being. It has a stronger immune system. You're stronger at the cellular level. So if you're looking at, that's why we tell you to take activated charcoal internally as like a pill to help draw out the toxins that your body shouldn't be consuming, and that includes the free radicals. So I'm going to talk about antioxidants and the macros in our other group. So if you want details about that, let me know. But that's been requested. I feel like I talk about it too much, but I did a poll in the other group, and a lot of people are asking, are simplifying nutrition for busy moms. Everyone's asking about it, which I thought was odd. Maybe I don't talk about it as much as I thought I did. At any rate, you have your antioxidants that fight the free radicals. So you need different types of vegetables. You need bright colors. Um, so that's just the food category. But then we look at bentonite clay, and that's pulling out all the toxins that our body is just marinating in most cases. Okay, is that clear enough? How are we doing? Okay, that's bentonite clay, and that's something that should be used on a regular basis. So if you want to do a face mask, you can do a face mask. If you want to do a foot soak with it, you can do a foot soak, and then we put it in our bath on a regular basis. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. We got Sandy says good morning, and Ed says, as I grab my absorbing veterinary liniment gel that I use for muscle aches. You're right. Let me see the ingredients on that one, Ed. Ed, you should be using magnesium gel. That's what you should be using. That might have been what I was talking about. It's a veterinary gel. Can you send me a picture of it? That might have been what we used to use. Probably not human approved. Okay, so that's number one. That's bentonite clay. I want to get into magnesium bath flakes here real quick, because I feel like I've often talked about this a lot also. So, okay, magnesium bath flakes. So magnesium has over 300 enzymatic functions in the body. We need to have magnesium coming into our body on a regular basis because it leaves our body. Like, we can pee out magnesium, for example. We can sweat out magnesium. We drink coffee, which draws out magnesium. So we need magnesium to continually enter our body on a regular basis, not just orally, but topically as well. And that's where bath flakes come in. Now, most people know what Epsom salt is, abundantly sold everywhere, pharmacy, grocery stores, etc. Usually that's a toxic product. So usually they have fragrance in there, maltodextrin, other additives, fillers that shouldn't be in any health product. And then we put that in the bathtub when we marinate in toxins, right? It's okay though. We don't know any better. That's why I'm here, and that's why you're here. Morning, Dion. Sandra, where do you buy the clay? The clay is found, I don't know. I think the clay is easily found at health food stores. Let me look around. We have a tub of it. The last tub we bought in the US, which isn't going to help you out. And we've had a big container here for quite a while. I'm not exactly sure where we got it from, but I can definitely look around for you. But I think that most health food stores would have it. Read the ingredients. I will actually, you know what? I could actually post our brand, because our brand, the one that we buy, is very clear, or very clean ingredients. What was I saying? Okay, so when it comes to magnesium in particular, the Epsom salt. So Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, very low end of the absorbability scale. It does not absorb into our body. So now understand that any time that you are using a product, it needs to have a high efficient rate of absorbability. If you're consuming something if you're looking at chlorella, so we sell a chlorella tab. It's organic, one single ingredient. It's high quality, cold processed, and it's cracked cell wall through sound. So a lot of times people will go to the pharmacy, or they'll go to the discount rack, or they'll go to Amazon and they buy this cheap quality chlorella, not knowing that there's a difference, because most people think that the average person thinks that a supplement is a supplement. They're all created equally. And so they consume this non-organic, non-cracked cell wall chlorella, and their body's not absorbing it. They're not absorbing it. So they're going to say, I don't notice any benefits of it. Doesn't work for me. Waste of money, right? Not knowing the quality and the difference. So when you're looking at your magnesium, so Epsom salt, I know some people are still like, oh, well, even though magnesium flakes work better, they cost more, so I'm going to stay with the Epsom salt. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like you get more bang for your buck with flakes than Epsom salts. That's my personal opinion. So you need a product that's going to, regardless of what it is, and any category you look at, you need a product that's going to absorb into your body, unless it's a toxin. Then you're hoping it doesn't absorb. So you have your Epsom salt versus magnesium chloride, which is magnesium bath flakes. The magnesium chloride is at the top of the absorbability scale, which is why it's so much more beneficial. We have clients or customers that start using bath flakes and they swear by it and they can't believe the difference. Like, I've been using Epsom salt for years. I can't believe that one bath has shown benefits because the absorbability, that's the difference, and the quality. There's no additives, fillers. It should be one single ingredient. Okay, so from there, when we look at, I told you I was going to talk about arthritis and osteoporosis. So look at osteoporosis in particular, and I'm going to mention this when we get to boron, is that there's the magnesium in our body is 60% in our bones. So what do you think happens as we age and osteoporosis becomes more apparent in our life? The magnesium is slowly being drawn out from our bones, weakening our bones, shrinking our bones, making them more brittle, which is why you see older people fall over and break something, right? Because they're going through that osteoporosis which is weakened bones, less bone mass. So as you age, like many times we have outliers, of course. I don't like to say this too much, but the truth is that the majority of people that we work with are 40 to 60-year-old women, and at this age, this is where menopause starts to creep in. This is where we start to look at different hormone imbalances. This is where arthritis starts. This is where osteoporosis begins to be a concern, and if you don't do anything about it, then we continue like you can look at resistance training, right? Resistance training also strengthens your bone mass. And if we don't take these steps to improve our situation, then we become someone who's reliant on medication, someone who has very limited mobility, and then dealing with a whole tackle box full of pharmaceuticals, which is no place for me to judge. I'm just saying, if you don't want to be there, we take early steps as early as possible to improve our health in the situation that we're in. So if you're soaking your body, like, just look at the two. I always like to look at two extremes, like yes or no, positive, negative. Look at someone who is not using a magnesium supplement and someone who is. Someone who's soaking in a magnesium bath flake once a week, 3 times a week. You're not going to overdose on magnesium bath flake. 3 times a week, 1 to 3 times a week, versus someone who doesn't soak in magnesium bath flakes at all. Who do you think is going to have a stronger immune system? More stronger bone density, less aches and pains. Like, it's very clear, right? And that's what we see when clients come to us from the very beginning, no supplementation, and then we talk about supplements. The majority of people that we poll or just ask, have conversations to, why aren't you taking supplements? Why aren't you taking supplements? And the main answer is I don't know which to take and how to use them. So again, that's why we're here to offer that education to help you understand the reasoning that you're taking supplements and the benefits that supplements are going to offer. So let me know if you guys have any questions with that. I'm going to move on to my last topic of this show. Morning, Kira. Morning, Shannon. Okay. Anything else with the bath flakes we want to mention? We recommend our liquid magnesium orally. That's one way to take magnesium. You also need a second version of topical, and that will especially help. So you're sitting in, your body is laying in magnesium bath salt, right? Just think about all the pores that your body's being absorbed and all the benefits that's happening. It's also great to help with restless legs, that chronic pain, joint pain, right before bed. It's relaxing. Magnesium on its own, like at its very root, is a relaxant. So that's why it particularly helps. Like when you have like aches and pains, your muscles are tight. That's what you go to a massage therapist and they're like trying to work out the knot, right? Well, what happened? You had a muscle that just continued to fold itself and intertwine itself, and now it has to be worked out and it's super tight. It has to be relaxed. Same thing with digestion. A lot of times when we deal with external stress, that's one of them. The foods that we put in our body or the foods that we don't put in our body. I think that when I say that, when you are taking inaction or action, like I feel like they're both on the same level. It's just like a skinny person and an overweight person. Like there's not someone who's really skinny. I don't feel like they're that much healthier than someone that's really overweight. So it's just different ends of the pendulum. So you have to understand what's going on in your body to help make those adjustments. So if you're tight and wound up, if stress goes to your digestive system, like you're looking at a magnesium to relax that. I did mention that. So you're looking at bone mass in particular, or osteoporosis. You have 60% of magnesium in your bone mass, right? So you have to continually put magnesium into your body to strengthen from the inside out, right? Right. Leanne's in here, Dion's in here. I love mag gel. What if you don't like sitting in bath? Just shower. Yeah, so that's a personal preference, Rebecca. Like, I'm not in a position to be like, well, you should really change your mind. Like, that's not my goal. Like, you wouldn't get more. Some people say I don't have a bath, and we had an apartment in another country that didn't have a bath, so we did a foot soak. So I'd recommend a foot soak. But is a foot soak better than a bath? No. But is a foot soak better than no soak? Yes. So you have different levels, and you make the best choice for you. And here's the thing: is like we have different reasons, right? Like, you may be going through menopause. I don't know. We haven't really talked that closely. So if that's the case, and you're in the bath and you don't want a hot flash, or the hot bath ignites a hot flash, obviously that's probably not the best option for you. So then you look at a foot soak. But there are different options and different abilities. You just have to decide what's best for you. Some people come in, like, if I could use an extreme example, like, some people come into our MAP program, and those clients that work with us closely one-on-one, they come in with an open mind, and they're willing to try the program exactly how it is, which may stretch their mindset and may stretch their comfort zone, but that's what coaching is for, right? It helps you see success that you wouldn't necessarily see. Then some people come in that don't even really want to be coached, which is odd. They're like, they don't really want to be told what to do. They don't want to be offered suggestions. They kind of want to keep doing what they're doing. And if you give them suggestions, they don't want to do the suggestions. They want to do like part of that suggestion, and they want it to be their idea. Do you know what I mean? Like, those people that in your life, I feel like we all have those people in our life that if you tell them something, they won't do it unless they think it's their idea. So tell them to do something, or you suggest doing something, and then like they take no action, and 3 months later they're doing it, and then they'll tell you a story of how they thought of it. It sounds ridiculous, but that it's the truth of the matter. So my point is that those people that come into our program with a wide open mindset, willing to take the action steps where we've seen the most results, they see the most results. And then those people that it's like a fight from the get-go, and I'm like, oh, like, was this a good idea? Do you actually want coaching? Those people see the less results because they're so resistant. They just don't want to try different things. And I'm like, why are you here? What are you doing? And that's not to say questions aren't okay, or doing things slightly different. I'm just saying that there's a clear difference that we've seen from results wise. Most people are results driven. Most people want instant results. And that's what we see, is that wide open, gonna do what you suggest, and far less results here. Sandy says we only have showers in our house. That's fine, Sandy. That's fine. Do the foot soak. We have, like I said, we've lived in homes where there's just been showers, so I'd recommend your hot detox. I would sit at my desk, and I would make a hot detoxing bath, foot soak, and I'd work. Sit there for 20 minutes. Had a big bowl, little towel next to it, and I'd move my feet. I probably don't have to explain how I do it. Move your feet on the towel. Then I'd remove the bucket, and then I'd take that bucket and I'd water my plants with it. And plants love magnesium. Our plants grow like crazy because of magnesium water. Morning, Janice. Morning, Dan. And then Sandra says soaking your feet could be an option if you don't have a bath. Yeah, thanks, Sandra. That's what we did when we didn't have a bath. So if you're in a situation where you don't have a bath, you can still get benefits, detoxing benefits. Just wouldn't be as much. Okay, the last one I'm going to leave you with is, who said hi there? Janice. And then Tasty's in here. Okay, the last one I'm going to leave you with here is borax. Now, this is a tough one because it has a bad name. And a lot of people, I've actually had people write in, I had some upset people. Not one person. I had one person that was like, and here's the thing is, like, I often tell you what I do. Like, I'm telling you what we do. I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm saying that this is the information I'm giving you. these are the results and the benefits that we find, and then what we find with our clients. But I'm not saying like this is what you should do. I'm saying that this is what we do. Like, this is how we live. I think it's really challenging to be in a world where you recommend things and you don't do them yourself. Like, you see like Instagram, TikTok, there's like a 17-year-old telling you how to make $20 million a year, and they live in their parents' basement. No judgment. I'm just saying, like, it's the same thing as like someone who's a carpenter whose house is falling down, or a doctor that's smoking outside the door and terribly overweight, or a mechanic whose car doesn't work. Like, that's just me. That's my perspective. Everyone may be different, but I feel like you should walk the walk, live that way. So sometimes, so when I was talking about borax in particular, I said this is what we're using in our bath, and then someone was like, "If you ever use borax in your supplements, I'm never using them again." And I'm like, "Okay, like what do you want me to say?" And then someone else said, "I don't feel comfortable using borax in the bath," and I said, "Then don't, like, don't, because that if you don't, like, if you, let's see, it's the whole energetic field, right? Like, if you energetically feel like tight and tense, it's the same thing with magnesium. We don't try to like make people use our magnesium. It's the same thing with our programs. When we say we have supplements, we see better results with our supplements. But if you're supplement resistant, I think that's a real thing. If you're supplement resistant and you don't want to take it, you don't have to. You can still follow our program without supplements. And and then in most cases, what we found is people will try one of our supplements and they're like, "Wow, this really works." Usually a liquid mag. And then they try another supplement and they're like, "Okay." And here's the thing is, I get it. I get it because I was in that world. I took a whole tackle box full of really low quality supplements because I didn't know any different. And I couldn't breathe. I was achy. I didn't sleep. I was irritable. And I was like, what is happening to my life? So I started reading ingredients and I started to pull out. Like, I started doing research, like, what is that? What is that? So I started pulling these ingredients out of my life and I started to become more healthier. That's why I'm so passionate about this. And that's why I can explain this, because I'm in the exact same position you're in. So when someone says I don't really want to take supplements, I say, great. When you're ready, come and talk to me or watch some of these training videos and let me know at any time if you want to talk more. That's it. So in this case, if you're like, "Oh, I heard terrible things about borax," then don't use it. You shouldn't use it. So I dug quite a bit deeper into this subject, and there's a lot of twisty turny. So here's the thing: is that boron is a mineral naturally occurring, and that naturally occurring mineral offers benefits from improving osteoporosis to not just muscle, not just bones in your body, but your teeth. But your teeth as well. There's a number of other benefits. So you can actually take it orally. And here's my thing is, like, if it was poison, like some people believe, then they wouldn't be able to sell it as an oral supplement, right? So the borax that we use is a cleaning detergent. And I believe there was, I really dislike, I mean, I don't love talking about this in particular, but I believe it was in part pharmaceutical companies that were, they're powerful, right? And they have a stronghold on the medication you should take to prevent osteoporosis, right? So if you have anything that comes along and says you are taking away from our pocketbooks, we're not going to allow that to happen. So, but this is with everything. This is with the butter industry. This is with the butter or dairy industry. This is with like the whole we had that whole fight between margarine and butter. You have to look at the Canada Food Guide, like, okay, maybe I won't get into that, but you have to look at where that information is coming from and the reason why, and find more sources. Sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, "Oh, I heard this," and I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Who did you hear it from?" And then it was like, "Oh, my mom's brother's dog told him that." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, if I'm going to believe something, I do a lot of research behind it. And then you look at the source. Like, it has to be a reputable source. And in my opinion, it needs to be disconnected from the reasoning they're writing about it, right? And in most cases, there's big money behind research, which is why they're pushing it out there and it's more easily found. You have to dig deeper to find the information that isn't so easily found at the top. So through my research, I found boron to be a product that is actually beneficial and essential to our health, especially when you're looking at bone density in particular. So we put in our bath, been doing that for a couple of years now, haven't noticed any adverse side effects. On top of that, if you look at borax, and when I say borax, that's the brand name, right? I'm talking about boron as the mineral. You're looking at borax that actually helps magnesium absorb into your body. So that's why they go hand in hand. There's actually, I don't think they're allowed to. Like, Canada has much more it's much more regulated in Canada than in the U.S. But there's companies in the U.S. that sell magnesium bath flakes with boron or borax in the product, so you sprinkle it in the bath. And this company talks endlessly about the research around the benefits of borax and magnesium bath flakes. So that's looking at more bones in particular, joint health. So again, those scary words of osteoporosis, arthritis, those things that creep in later in life. I actually experimented with a oral borax supplement, not for very long. I didn't really notice much. I'm probably going to go back to it though. Because I like to experiment on my body. And now I'm not telling you that you should do that. I'm telling you that I've found clear research that shows that there are benefits to adding boron, the mineral, to your diet, to your lifestyle, whether that's orally. I'd probably recommend through the bath first. And that's the same thing with most minerals, right? Like, someone comes to me and they say, can kids take liquid magnesium? And I ask them age, I ask them their situation. Like, it's not just a simple answer. But in most cases, I say, you know what would be best is to introduce kids to a topical form, because it's a little bit easier. It's like an easier absorption. They're not dealing with taste. It's not going straight to their digestive system. And there's also benefits too, as I'm talking about in the show, topical form or topical benefits of magnesium. So I say start with a bath flakes. And if they're not going to bath, then go to a spray or a gel, and then implement liquid magnesium orally. Let's see what Ed said real quick. Biggest recommendation for chronic back pain, like back or knees, I have to be as active as you can in those areas. The supplements and topicals help to get you more active, and a great motivator like Drew helps a ton. Awesome, Ed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you coming in here and checking out our lives. I know you're a regular now, so we appreciate you. So at any rate, that's about what I have. Is there anything else I wanted to mention about that? I think that's it. So that's what we do. So if you're looking to take steps, if one of those doesn't fit into your mindset, then just omit one of them. I don't think there's any adverse effects of putting bath flakes in your bath. Bentonite clay. The only thing I can think of is a bit of a mess in the bottom of your tub, which you rinse some water down there. And then there's borax. So we use all three of them on a regular basis with baking soda in our bathtub. So hopefully that helps you, give you a better idea of what you're looking for or what can help improve that chronic pain that you're dealing with. We need to detox, like look at what's putting in your body first, and then reduce the nonsense that we all know shouldn't be going in. And then we detox. So detox through magnesium is a natural detoxer as well. So bentonite clay. And if you want to level up, you could consider borax if you feel that's something that could be beneficial to you. You know what the thing is? Like, so here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with this. Borax is actually used as it's allowed to be advertised as a detergent, right? Or a cleaner. So here's the thing is that there's far more toxic nonsense in your like Tide or I don't know what other, like in your detergents. And then so that's in your clothes, and then you wear that, and that's being absorbed into your skin. And that's more widely accepted than a natural mineral like borax. It can be used in your clothing, but which is then going to be absorbed into your body. But you bring it up as someone's going to use it as a supplement or as a health product, and it's like, just think about that for a moment, and think about the Think about the detergent that you're using, and think about those little. This is for a different subject, but think about those little dryer things. Oh my gosh. Dion says I've been using Mag spray on my kids, and they also love Mag baths. Awesome, Dion. Dion posted an amazing before and after picture. Thanks, Dion. You've been amazing. 18 plus pounds. And then from that post, we have a handful of people that were like, "Hey, what are you doing over there at True Form?" So, anytime one of our people posts, we get new business, new questions. So that means the world to us. Carol says my family all like the Mag baths. Awesome, Carol. So great to hear. I'm going to leave you with that. Was there something else? Oh, let's do a 2-for-1. 2-for-1. Let's just do a 2-for-1 for the 1,200 gram bags. How about that? You'd think I'd be more prepared. We're gonna do buy one get one free. We're gonna do a max though. Buy one get one free, but you only get one per customer. Because we did and I have no problem with this. We did a buy one get half off liquid mag last week, and we had people putting in like large orders. So limit one per customer. Those that have watched live or watching the replay, buy one 1,200 gram bag of bath flakes, and you get the second one free. Whoa, we have never done that one before. Thank you so much for being here. Trueformlife.com/shop if you want to grab that. And I'm out of here. Have a great day, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.